Okay, so let's practice sketching just one period of the sine function. And note that if I have y equals sine of x, where x is my angle, this angle could be in radians or the angle could be in degrees. Right? And if we remember where these ratios are coming from, they're coming from this unit circle. They're coming from this unit circle. And we know that if I start at 0 radians, my sine function is 0, right? And I know, right, here I am, if I come all the way around to pi radians, right, my sine function will once again be 0, because the y value is 0, and then come around, right, at 2 pi, my function is going to be 0. Okay? I know that at this max, at 90 degrees, right, if I let this be 1, 2, 3, then at pi over 2 at 90 degrees, my sine function is at a maximum. And at 3 pi over 2, right, at 3 pi over 2, my sine function is at a minimum. Right? And then I can come in here and essentially just connect the dots in what I know the graph generally looks like, this smooth curve wave-like pattern. Right? So I come over here and I connect the dots with this smooth curve wave-like pattern. Right? Now, you may not draw it perfectly, but you want to get pretty close. Take the time that you need, right? And as long as it's clear to see where these values are on this central axis and where this maximum and where this minimum are, right, it's important that that's seen clearly. And if it's not, right, you can say, hey, here's the maximum, right? Here's the minimum. Write it clearly so that even if you draw it slightly off, we can tell that you have the general idea. Right? That's if we're in radians. If we're in degrees, well, at 0 degrees, my sine function is 0. 180 degrees, the sine function is 0. 360 degrees, the sine function is 0, right? And if each of these tick marks is 1 unit, right, then at 90 degrees, maximum, so here I am, at 270 degrees, a minimum, right, if I'm up here, 90, down here, 270, right, and be really careful when you draw these curves, right, try to set it up as close as you can, right, but ultimately you want to have the smooth wave-like pattern. Right, the smooth wave-like pattern, and that is one period of the sine function, right? One period of the sine function. Very important that we can draw that information correctly.